Hey, what's up guys? I'm Marshix, and today we're looking at the Found Verdict shotgun from the updated Vault of Glass raid in Destiny 2. This is an aggressive frame shotgun, meaning it deals high damage and getting kills with it increases its rate of fire. This is very similar to the Felwinter's Lie and Astral Horizon. However, it gets some absolutely insane rolls that make it top tier for both PvE and PvP. But before we get into the guide, please take a second to leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel. I'll also be doing a giveaway for another Between Stars emblem. All you have to do is leave a comment on any of my videos between now and the end of April. So first off, how do you get the Found Verdict? Well, it's a raid weapon from the Vault of Glass, and it can drop after completing the Conflux encounter, which is the first encounter right after opening the door to the Vault of Glass, the Oracle encounter, which is the second encounter right after Confluxes, and the Gatekeeper encounter right before Atheon. Once you've gotten one to drop, you can get it from the secret chests throughout the raid, as well as buy it from the vendor at the end of the raid. If you need any help getting through the raid, I'll leave a link to a full guide down in the description. Now, moving on to the PvE God Roll. There are many options that this shotgun can get, but honestly, only a few perks truly stand out. The most overpowered one of the bunch, however, will be rewind rounds. When this weapon's magazine is empty, it refills itself from reserves based on the number of hits. This perk gives you about half of the shots you hit. It's a little weird sometimes due to rounding, but it's roughly half. So with 4 rounds in the magazine, I'm able to shoot 4 times, and then it'll give me 1 shot back. Now, that doesn't sound amazing, but you can get this to roll with magazine perks. So as you can see with a tactical mag, which increases my magazine to 5 up from 4, we are now able to shoot 5 shots and then get 2 back. Then when you shoot those 2, rewind rounds will proc again and give us the last shot for a total of 8 shots. 8 shots is already extremely rare for shotguns to get, and this only gets better. So for your mod, you can go with one of 2 options. A boss spec for increased damage against bosses, or a backup mag to further increase your magazine size. Well, I tested a backup mag, which increased the magazine to 6. I shot it 6 times, got 3 shots back, shot those 3, and to my surprise, I got 2 shots back. Shot those 2 and got 1 final round back, for a total of 12 shots without reloading. That's unheard of on shotguns, especially from this archetype. In fact, the only other shotgun that can reach that is the Heritage with Reconstruction, which is already S tier. To put that mag size into comparison, this thing only holds 16 shots in its reserves, and you can shoot 3/4 of that with no downtime from reloading. That's just insane. And on top of that, I managed to get this thing to roll with Vorpal Weapon, which is a straight up 15% more damage against bosses and champions. More damage is always welcomed, and this helps make up for the lack of a boss spec. Alternatively, you could also get this to roll with Frenzy, which also increases its damage by 15% after being in combat for an extended period of time. This is also great damage, but if the perk ever runs out, you'll have to wait an additional 12 seconds for it to reactivate, whereas Vorpal Weapon is always active. And yes, Frenzy does work on lower tiered enemies, but let's be real. How often do you shoot a red bar with a shotgun and not kill it? Now, how does this compare to other top tier shotguns, like the Heritage or the First and Last Out? Well, those are slug shotguns, which means you need to aim for crit shots. Looking at the damage of these weapons, with the God Rolls, First and Last Out with Vorpal does 38k per crit and 22k per body shot. Heritage does similar numbers with 35 per crit and 20k to the body. Now, looking at the rate of fire of those, we see that it takes about 4.8 seconds for 6 shots. All the shotguns we're looking at don't need to be reloaded in normal gameplay, so if we adjust those numbers for 2 magazines, we get these DPS numbers. These are all assuming that you get headshots. Now, let's look at the Found Verdict. If every pellet is a headshot, the damage is 33k, and for every body shot is about 30k. So being accurate doesn't matter too much for this weapon. Looking at the rate of fire, we get 1 magazine off in about 6.32 seconds, which means our DPS over 2 magazines will be these numbers. So comparing all crits to the slug shotguns, that's really no competition with those. Slug shotguns are able to fire much faster and deal much more per shot. However, not every enemy has easy crit spots. If you're missing most of your crits with your slugs, that's when the Found Verdict starts to shine. These numbers are assuming all shots are body shots. As you can see, Found Verdict is doing more than both of our other shotguns. Now, let's be honest, these damage numbers aren't anything too impressive, but keep in mind you can still pair this with Anarchy or Wither Horde and keep up some high damage numbers. And I know people usually hot swap their slug shotguns for even more damage, but what if you don't have the God Rolls of both of the best slug shotguns? Well, this could be a good replacement for the First and Last Out. Also, keep in mind that the First and Last Out and Heritage are hard to get. First and last out is a random drop from legendary engrams. There's no telling how long it'll take for you to get one, and even if you do get one, it's most likely not going to have assault mag and auto-loading holster and vorpal weapon. Same thing with heritage. It comes from the Deepstone Crypt raid, which most people aren't really doing anymore, and you're most likely not to get one with assault mag and reconstruction. Yes, you can buy it from the chest at the end of DSC, but Found Verdict can also be bought like that. And with Vault of Glass being a new raid, there are so many people looking to do it. Now, I know that I promised this was good for PvP too, so let's look at those rolls. Firstly, let's look at the stats and compare it to the most popular shotgun, the Felwinter's Lie. Looking at the range stat, Found Verdict has 38 range, whereas Felwinter's only has 29, so Found Verdict has 9 more range than Felwinter's. It also has 45 handling, whereas Felwinter's has 33. In fact, this thing has higher stats than Felwinter's in every category. Same thing with Astral Horizon. The only thing Astral Horizon has better than the Found Verdict is its stability, which doesn't matter at all on PvP shotguns. So for the perks, this can get Surplus and Opening Shot, just like the Felwinter's Lie. Surplus increasing handling, reload speed, and stability for each fully charged ability, and Opening Shot for improved accuracy and range on the opening shot of attack. The increased handling on Surplus allows for quicker access to your shotgun. It's the best replacement we currently have for Quick Draw, which is no longer on this archetype for shotguns. An Opening Shot is great for just getting a little extra bit of range, but you could also get Slide Shot for increased range after sliding, and Killing Wind for increased mobility, range, and handling after getting a kill. Any combination of these 4 perks are amazing for Crucible. You would also want either Full Choke or Rifled Barrel in the first column, and Accurized Rounds in the second column for increased range. Even with my PvE God Roll, which let me remind you, has horrible perks for Crucible, I must say, it's still really good. It plays just like the Felwinter's because it is in that same archetype, but like we saw before, it does have higher base stats. And I know Felwinter's does have Shot Package built into it for better pellet spread, but I think a PvP focused God Roll of the Found Verdict could surpass the Felwinter's easily. Looks like I'll have to continue grinding for it to find out. If you manage to get your hands on a roll like this, keep it and show those Felwinter apes what the better shotgun is. I hope this video helped you out. If it did, please consider leaving a like on the video and subscribing to the channel for more Destiny 2 guides in the future. I want to thank you all for watching this far into the video. I'm Marshix, and I'll see you next time.